We're on top. Hey!
Mr. Burale has said, look, if you are a parent and you went through the hustles and the hurdles of life, and yes, you may have had, one sausage here and there, one piece of bacon here and there, some eggs here and there, but why are you now making it such a Cerelac lifestyle for your children? So much so that all they do is be on their iPads and they are pretty much just enjoying these pork bits and, chips and enjoying themselves. Like they are not moving a muscle because you are overcompensating for the life that you had wanted growing up. Now you're doing it for your children, but it's like it's becoming an excessive amount of the same being done for your children. And his own words, honestly, were very interesting because he said things along the lines of, yes, he understands that we as parents struggled. Yes, he understands that we wanted these things for ourselves and we couldn't afford to do them all the time. However, that doesn't mean that we then spoil our children rotten because you didn't have it, so now you're overdoing it. And I feel like this is a struggle, especially for parents in the 21st century, even more so for Gen Alpha parents. I feel like y'all are going through it. Like y'all are really, really going through it because as a millennial, as a Gen Z, we realized that some of our stories were very similar in the form of we had deadbeat dads, in the form of, we had poor parents who couldn't afford ABCDE. We then ended up having to hustle and grind so that we could be able to make it to the other side and create the life that we wanted for ourselves. So obviously, all those times you would want your father to have given you bacon and sausages seems to be like a very important thing for your child not to experience because you don't want them to feel how you felt. You don't want them to feel that deficit. But to an extent, now these poor children are getting so spoiled, you can't even get them down from the clouds that they're in. It's impossible to even talk to children. You've seen these stories about the Sephora kids, like kids who go into like a shopping, makeup shopping spot, and they are literally just buying everything and talking down on the attendants simply because they have the money. Whatever they want, they're like, yeah, my dad's card, my mom's card. It's becoming a phenomenon that people are like, no, this is, yes, we get it. You want to make your child feel like there's nothing they're lacking, but at the same time, why are you going this far?
I feel like sometimes as a parent, especially when you did not experience something or something hurt you very badly when you were growing up, you don't want your child to
go
endure
through
that.
it.
I would not want my child to go through life feeling bad about not affording sweets or candy or something as basic as chicken. So obviously I will work very hard to provide my son chicken after we come from church on Sunday. I will work very hard to provide, to just make sure that my son is happy. And I hope that the things I'm not able to provide, he will work very hard to provide for his child the things he did not have. It's just a cycle. No parent wants their child to suffer, but sometimes we do get carried away. I do respect that. Sometimes we overdo things. Sometimes we end up coddling our children so much they just don't understand that real life is happening and there are real life scenarios and there are real life bills and life exists beyond you. Sometimes we do too much. I accept that, but it also comes from a place of I don't want my kid to suffer. And that is also okay. So don't shame parents because they're working too hard. Just tell them, hey, do you, but also make sure your child is conscious. That's the most basic thing, having a decent kid, a kid that knows right from wrong, a kid that is respectful. They could be rich. Yeah, they could have everything they want, but if they're conscious that there are other people who do not have these things, then that is also okay. So yeah, don't shame parents for going above and beyond for their kids. They're just doing their best at this point.
Catch 22, isn't it?
It is, it really